Oh, really?
What are you talking about? There's blatant Russian collusion from this bullcrap dossier that they got from Steele, who got it from shady Russians.
People,
I mean,
this all comes down once again. Why do they want the immigrants here? They don't want them to live in their backyard, like he says. They want them because they're votes. That's what this is all about. It's all about the votes.
this guy Pete Davidson is a piece of crap. He's a lowlife, left-wing, disgusting human being, if I can even call him that.
Who says that they don't want to be divisive. This is the one who wants the inclusivity and all that stuff. But yet they want to say that the MAGA hats is like wearing the robes of the Klan. These people, they're on crack.
No, they're out of their mind.
What's up, Jake? You doing all right?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome. Let's see who we got here. Chunky Monkey, Mod at the Grass. He wants to do some graphics for us. Arnie Maui, taking a break from Lake Tahoe and Hawaii and just to be here. There's no mountains in Florida. Exactly. We do have these things called the Florida Mountains. When the sun sets out west, if you look east over the water, it looks like a mountain ridge line. So I'm going with that, Arnie. Cut me some slack, man. I haven't slept. Welcome, everybody. This is Jake. This is the mouth that has been speaking for, 2 weeks now? This is Rich, the famous Richard that I was telling you about, that we do the show here on Vantage Point USA. Here we are, man. What's going on, Rich?
And I've been tracking you. I've been watching it and watching what you're looking at, and glad you had a little comedic relief this morning. And wow, is this not jacked up? Is this the country we live in right now?
I cannot believe that in this day and age we have a no-go zone. Now, I used to talk about that when they were in London.
Right.
You know, there was a Muslim population that set up a little city area, and they would say that no police were allowed in there. And I never thought, what's going on, Kim Hall? I never thought we'd see the day in America where they would take over, Soros puppets would take over a 6-block area in Seattle and say the cops can't come in. What's going on? Can't believe what's going on in the U.S. Yes, yeah. I'm going to try to keep on chat. And where the police cannot go in, I mean, obviously, the Democrat politicians are allowing this. And isn't it funny they named it Chaz, right?
Right.
Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone until President Trump, put that tweet out, if you don't do something to the mayor, then I will. And they got a little scared. Yo, let's not call it Autonomous Zone. Let's call it like Loveland or something, Fun Fest, whatever.
Yeah.
Coyote 2, whatever.
I was inspired when the Portland police rolled in and knocked it down, though. I felt good about that. That was and that's what should have happened in Seattle. That's what it should have happened everywhere.
Bro. Absolutely. And that's what a lot of people were saying in response to that. It took them like 2 hours to set up that barricade.
Yeah.
At one point, there was like 200 protesters screaming up at Ted Wheeler's condo. You never know with these people.
Right.
So they were screaming out there for hours. About 2 hours, about 100 of them set up barricades. Then it got down to about 50, 30. An older veteran, if you watch the video, came out and was like, you people need to leave. We need to sleep here. And they were kind of yelling at him and disrespecting him. And they didn't get physical with him. He was in one of those rolling wheelchairs. And he was like, most of you people ain't even from around here, and they were harassing the guy. He was just saying, go home, we need to sleep. So it got down to about 50 people, and then nothing happened. And then, man, all of a sudden I'm like, good night, I need sleep, I'm done. And the cops come rolling in, and they all ran. They just ran away. They folded like Bernie Sanders, Rich.
Yeah, I saw that. So now, after weeks of watching this, what do they want, Jake? What is it they want?
I'll tell you what they want.
Well,
You know, they go with the whole we want reform of the police. Then it went from reform of the police to abolish the police.
Right.
They'll settle for 50% defunding them. But that's not what they want.
No.
It's not even about the police. They want anarchy.
Yep.
This is Soros. This is his puppets. This is the left wing liberals, rules for radicals, Saul Alinsky. They want the destruction of America. They feel we captured this land. We slaughtered the Indians. We had slaves. They hate America. They hate our flag. And they want the complete destruction of the Constitution.
Yep.
And the people out there marching, whether they're getting paid or not, probably, to have no idea of the bigger picture that's going on here.
Right.
We talk. We don't fight flesh here. We fight, spirit versus flesh.
Right.
Soros, make no mistake, he is evil.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He wants the destruction of anything good, hates God, hates our Constitution. That's the big picture. And they're out there making all these chants, and that's what they want. What do you feel it is?
Well, yeah, and I find it funny that the anger is directed at the Republican Party. I find it's funny that it's directed at Trump, especially for the fact that if they actually want to get woke about something, wake up about what actually has happened in America. I mean, the fact that Abraham Lincoln was Republican, John Wilkes Booth was Democrat, killed him, okay? 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, dealing with slavery and citizenship and the right to vote. Republicans were promoting it. Democrats were fighting it. In 1924, the KKK was actually part of the Democratic platform. Lyndon Johnson even made the statement that the blacks were getting uppity, and so he maneuvered them into this, quote, democratic plantation through welfare programs, broke up the families, which was one of the key things to keeping them in check and keeping them under his thumb. And now you have people, everybody's worried about, oh, well, what's going to happen in the next election because now that all this fervor and everybody's against Trump. And you got Biden and like he's going to be some poster child for him. Don't forget, no. Biden was also the one who did the eulogy at Robert Byrd, who was a KKK recruiter, and did his eulogy.
Wasn't he what, South Carolina?
Yeah,
South Carolina?
Well, that and Strom Thurmond, but and then went ahead and he also is buddies with Margaret Sanger, who was the founder of Planned Parenthood. Okay. Right. And she spoke at KKK women's meetings and was quoted as saying that blacks were human weeds and that, what else? Oh, and so now obviously isn't it ironic that these Planned Parenthoods are primarily planted in the minority communities and about half of the births or half of the pregnancies end up in abortions in these. So I find it funny that the anger, because the Republicans have always sat back and said, the liberals are keeping you under thumb. They are your main problem through these welfare programs that they're giving you, just enough like a crack addict where you try to pretend like you're helping them, but ultimately you want to keep them on the crack because it keeps them on the dole. They're just a voting block to them. That's all they care about. They just care about the fact that they're a voting block. And I don't think a lot of them have educated themselves about the whole history of who it is they're actually fighting and who it is they think is going to help them in the upcoming election. So I hope that there's more education done in that. But yeah, so that's my thought.
It definitely is, bro. A lot of people are getting red pilled, blacks, Hispanics, and minorities from people like Wayne Dupree and Christian Lamar.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens. Well, she's definitely controversial. She had that Hitler comment. It would have been fine if he just stayed in Germany, whatever. Right. But she makes a lot of sense. And Kanye West, obviously.
Right.
I don't know if he was serious about that. If he was mag, whatever. He did have a CD dropping, but I'm not going to judge him. He probably was serious. But there are a lot of people out there. Senator Tim Scott, who just got involved with this reform bill, who says he's been pulled over, driving while black is a crime,
right?
And he gets stopped all the time by security when he's going into the Capitol building, So thank God, it's one thing for me and you to sit here and talk,
right?
We're not black, we're not Hispanic, we're not minority, you know what I mean? But when you hear this from prominent people, saying that, come on, people, wake up. These people were never for you. Look at every city. They're not for you. I think a lot of people are waking up. And now after this, with the rioting and looting, whose businesses, of course, were getting rioted and
Right.
looted besides New York City?
Right.
But in these minority neighborhoods, you think they're going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. No, they're pissed off.
Yep.
And I think they just threw them all to our side. I really do.
I hope that's the point. I mean, the whole thing about, obviously, I hope they don't equate their movement to have any special ties with socialism, because all socialism is really depending on is complacency and sloth. Whereas, and I guess they don't feel like the conservatives have really been out there outspoken for their cause. But let's face it, this is politics, and historically they're not voting for the conservatives, and the conservatives aren't about getting in everybody's business. They're about people succeeding, people lending themselves a hand and stepping up. And one thing about that is success is the driving force behind capitalism. So conservatives and capitalists, they want black people to succeed, because if we give money and they buy things with the money we gave them, that doesn't do anything. But if they're successful and they're succeeding and they're making their own money to buy their things, then that's what drives capitalism, and that's what ultimately they actually care about. So yeah.
Well, absolutely, but obviously not all conservatives and all Republicans. Obviously, we have swamp Republicans
Sure.
that hated Trump. They
Sure.
were never Trumpers. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, Trump's awesome, like Lindsey Graham, etc. And then you have that Democrat Mitt Romney. But so we got to watch them. They're almost more dangerous.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least we know where the Democrats stand. The more dangerous ones are the ones who pretend they're on our side, like a lot of streamers that hated Trump and probably never voted before, and now all of a sudden they're MAGA because it's profitable. We
Right.
already talked about that. We'll
Yes.
just move on from that. Hey, from Long Island, yes. Allie Johnson, me too. I'm from Long Island my whole life. Then I moved to Carolina. That's where I became friends with Rich here.
Absolutely.
And now I'm in South FLA, South Florida. Exact location unknown. Can't tell you.
That's right.
Too many trolls out there. But let me tell you, I want to thank everybody for tuning in these last couple of weeks. Rich, you were watching our numbers.
Yep.
Ridiculous. 400, almost 400 subscribers on no, more than 400, almost 500, right? On
Yeah.
subscribers on YouTube, which really don't matter. I mean, because
No.
you have 500 bots.
No,
you know what
but
I mean?
right, but it does make. I mean, you've been putting forth the effort to try to make it entertaining. So no, kudos to you, and thanks everybody subscribing. I hope more do, because like I said,
Hold on 1 second.
go ahead.
Hold on 1 second.
Hold on, he's muting it here. While he's doing that, we'll go ahead and talk about a couple of the corporate
All
response.
right, sorry about that. Go ahead, Rich.
Oh no, that's go ahead. You can either
What?
finish your thought. I was just going to talk about some of the corporate responses to this whole protest and where they stood, which a lot of them I find
No, that was just my head of security. They had a mob of women out there trying to attack my front door.
again. Really, you got
Yeah,
to.
right. Right. Only in my head. Go ahead, Rich.
Well, so here's some of the corporate responses. Some of them I think are kind of whatever. I just find it funny that now, really, I mean, the biggest one is not the biggest one. There's obviously a lot of them, but I find it funny, the NFL and the whole Kaepernick thing. Let's face it, people. He is going to get a football deal, but it's not because he's a good quarterback, okay? And it's not because the owner actually cares about the plight of the black man. I'm not going to say for sure, but they're going to hire him because it's going to be a press frenzy when they do. It's going to bring eyeballs to their team when they do hire him. And I don't know that they're going to actually hire him in a position as a quarterback, because like I said, you don't want to fall on your own sword over this guy and what he spoke. But, they may put him in a booth somewhere. They may put him on some advisory board, something like that. But he will get a position, I guarantee you. L'Oreal, So here's a couple of them. L'Oreal had fired a black transgender woman who said that all whites are racist. Now, a couple things I find funny about that. Number one, I don't know why they fired her about that anyway. If that's her opinion, she said it. If public outcry was there, I doubt it was, whatever. But they fired her. So now they brought her back. So apparently L'Oreal is saying, yes, all whites are racist. HBO pulled Gone with the Wind, which when you start pulling actual pieces of literature, what are you going to do? Pull the books now? You're going to ban the Bible? I mean, what are we going?
Yes,
What are we going
it's
for
complete
next?
destruction of everything we know.
Oh,
That's the goal.
yeah, because Song of the South is coming next, and now they're calling for Song of the South at Disney to get revamped because it's okay. So you got that.
Well, you pulled off Uncle Ben, right?
And
you pulled off Uncle Ben, and next it's probably Aunt Jemima, I'm sure.
yeah. Well, Quaker Oats already said they're doing that, and then you had CBS pulling the show Cops, which has been on forever, and I don't understand that one. Let's see. Be of
Yeah, it's popular to hate cops right now, and it makes sense. So let's bring back in Kaepernick. We were wrong. He was right. No, sorry. The guy with the Del Castro T-shirt. Let's not forget wore cops stocks with cops as pigs on him.
Right.
I don't care if he takes a knee or not. He disrespected our flag. He disrespected our soldiers. He's
That's
a
right.
clown. He's disgusting. And we were right then, and we're right now. He's a piece of crap.
That's right. Somebody says HBO has been changing history. Yeah, and that brings up a really good point. Now we're getting to a point where we have to really think about Facebook and Twitter and their responsibilities and the law that protects these people. Because when you have Facebook, Facebook's given it $10 million to what they say they're doing is they're giving it to anti-racist activist groups. So who's that going to be? Is that going to be Antifa, Black Lives Matter? How are you quantifying that? Let's see. Nike's changing their whole advertising. So now instead of just do it, it's going to be for once, don't do it. Meaning don't pretend racism, that you're not racist or whatever. Intel, $1 million. Verizon, $10 million to social justice causes. Yeah, Levi. I love Levi. Levi jeans, $100,000 to the ACLU. I love it. Just $100,000. What does that even mean? PepsiCo is going to increase they're going to plaque managerial positions by 30%. So that's reverse discrimination against whites and doubling business with black vendors. So that's some of the responses from some of the corporate. There's a lot more. PayPal's committing $530 million to supporting black owned. I don't know. I'm not saying that these corporate people haven't had an epiphany and all of a sudden they think that, this is what they morally are bound to do. But I just find it funny, the timing and the actions of some of these companies. But
no, they're afraid of mob rule and they're afraid of being boycotted. And you talked about them pulling all the toys. Anything with police.
Yeah. For those who are here now and weren't here the last show, so Lego has sent out a thing. They're pulling the Lego police sets. Any of them that have the thief, and I forget what the thief's name was, but there's a thief, and firemen. And why firemen? It's just it is. You thought the reaction to COVID was overreactionary. I think some of these corporate responses are a little overreactionary as well.
Well, they're afraid of being boycotted. We've seen it every time. They bow down to, the mob. But what they don't understand is just because the media is talking about this and, and forcing people to bow down to this false narrative, we're not saying that racism doesn't exist.
Right.
Absolutely it exists.
Nor that the death of Floyd wasn't wrong. Obviously it was, and the way he
Obviously.
died. Yeah. So we're not saying
disgusting.
that.
We're not saying that. We're not even saying there's not racist police, but
Right.
there's racist doctors and there's racist, dentists, and we're not. It's the false narrative that police are going out there and white people are all racist, and if you say you're not racist, that really means you are racist,
Right.
and that you have all this white privilege and all this crap, and it's the false narrative that we're pushing against. Just
Right.
because the media is out there saying it, most people know racism exists. No, but most people do not think that the cops are racist. And this war on the police, now allegedly Atlanta, a lot of them called in sick in certain districts last night. Wasn't a walkout, but a lot of them did call in sick
Right.
out of nowhere.
Right.
And that's what I've been saying. They're getting it from the media. They're getting it from Black Lives Matter. The politicians ain't backing them up. Be very careful for what you wish for.
That's
the
right.
police step down, you're going to be begging for them to come back. Trust me when I tell you. Because this is a very loud minority who controls Hollywood, who controls the media. That's why it seems like the world's
On fire,
crazy. I've
right?
encountered several Hispanics and blacks because I live in South Florida these last 2 weeks, and everybody, hold the door or hey, how you doing? No racism, no dirty looks.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks like that, man.
No,
Nobody thinks like that.
it is
Very small amount of people.
It is amazing. And you talk about, be careful what you ask for. Now, I tried to do the Vantage Point back to blue. The blue's not really showing up and they're in the logo. But here's the crazy thing, and we talked about this the other week. So you had people looting, and they were not far from the police who were told to step down, not do anything, okay? So these people look over, nothing's happening. They go in, they steal stuff. You know they're going to the next door because they've just been given permission to do it. Just imagine if the cops weren't even there. Imagine if they're nowhere around. Now you got to think about your house, your property, and all that. And yeah, but you're right. I don't see. I have.
No, it is not the pulse of America.
No, it is not. It is
white
so.
People are bad, and everybody hates the police and stuff.
No,
but it's enough of loud voices where you just may cause police to step down. Then you're gonna really, really be in trouble. Believe me, you're gonna be sorry if the police ever step down. And what's going on right now, and they had that warlord until Petey took over. Petey's got it all peaceful now. Since Petey's taken over, for those of you who don't know Petey,
I wish we had the picture to show up. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Yes, Petey is my rabbit. He is now in charge. He is the warlord. I did a video. If you go ahead and watch it, it's been peaceful ever since. Nobody wants to mess with that. If you watch the old Monty Python Holy Grail, show or movie, you would know that you don't mess with rabbits. Remember, attack, retreat. That thing was like a nasty rabbit.
Let's see.
So
there it is. Petey the warlord. There.
Petey.
Yeah, there's the city next to it. That's right.
Yeah.
There it is.
See?
That's Petey.
I still know how to do my graffiti art there.
That's right. And somebody had mentioned about
breakdancing days.
Could we see some of that? You got a piece of cardboard there you could spin on?
Oh, no. Maybe I'll do a video one time.
Okay.
Probably be the last show I do if I start breakdancing right now at 50 something.
Yeah. Now
I know.
Ice Queen talking about, and somebody else was talking about ammo here is hard to come by if you don't get the stocking up. And here's the problem. I don't understand why people don't already have their ammo. I mean, we've been through the presidencies. I mean, I've been buying ammo for years. I got more ammo. If you need some, I ought to have a sale on it. But yeah, and the crazy thing is, I've been noticing. I mentioned to you last week. I've been carrying my gun much more. I mean, usually I would casually carry it. Now religiously carrying it, not because I put a color to it, but because I put a mob to it. And if there was ever a mob to try to come into my business, that sort of thing. So. Yeah, because people are
Absolutely.
acting crazy. People are acting entitled, and it's just a crazy time. But like I said,
No, you never know right now.
You don't. I mean, educate yourself on this. I mean, the NAACP. I couldn't even get that out last time. NAACP was also started by Republicans, by the way. So let's remember that. But anyway, so
absolutely. I'm looking right now at chat. Last night we had this crazy problem. I couldn't figure it out. I thought the day before we were attacked by like bots, and they were like racist bots.
Right.
Like 100 of them came on YouTube and were like typing the most horrible stuff. I don't know if anybody was watching, but I was blocking them as fast as I can. So the next show last night, I'm having everybody's chat was doubling on YouTube. Well, today I got a message from Restream saying, hey, we apologize. We've seen there's an error where people are receiving double chats. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. The only thing that was good was if you missed somebody's chat, then you were able to see it 5 more times. So let me look through here.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at YouTube, and there's this Dr. Philly Blunt, so we know where his mind is, talking about this is just a race. He's just going on and on and on about it. I'm not even signed in enough, don't even care to block it. Because ultimately, if that is actually an individual who actually thinks like this, then once again, somebody who needs to educate them on what we're actually saying here. We're not saying racist.
Saying that we're a racist podcast?
Yeah, that this is a racist. Yeah.
I believe, didn't we say like 5 times that
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say, dude. You're just, all you're doing by even saying that, you're just exercising your white privilege. What are you doing? So anyway.
Yeah, How dare I?
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
I am from Long Island. Maybe he's being funny. I don't even know. Entitled.
well, I tell you what.
Somewhere. Sorry. Nah, that wasn't sarcasm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
So anyway, you know
well,
what?
Dr. Philly Blunt. Well, there you go. You probably burn your brains into a crisp.
That's it.
Let's see. So welcome, Natalie Joe from Texas. I've been here a few times. My bad. All right. So obviously you like it. So why are you hanging out on a racist podcast?
Yeah.
Maybe you're racist. I don't know. Maybe you're projecting. I'm not even gonna like spend focus. If you've watched us several times, we talk about how disgusting it was the killing of George Floyd.
That's
we
right.
talk about racism is disgusting in all colors. In the last 2 weeks, me showing these riots in Lewis, I've heard more racist stuff coming out of black people towards whites
Yep.
than I've ever seen before in my life. You know, kill all whites and et cetera, et cetera. Racism is disgusting.
Yep.
And if you want to think that we're racist, good luck with that, man.
Yeah.
You probably could make your own show and then see if you can do it better.
That's right. But yeah, so that's are you going to be on again this evening? You're going to be
I don't know. I
hitting
might take a break unless it gets a little crazy. Welcome everybody. Laura on Periscope, Katrina, do my little shout outs, Kimberly, Natalie Joe, of course, Philly Blunt. He's welcome here. I mean,
yeah,
we don't block people. Like, go ahead, Rich.
Yeah.
I know you're big on this.
No, I mean, I would love to have an intelligent conversation about this. I mean, I know it's funny how they try to shut you down. I mean, if we talked about the stats where of the 8,000 to 9,000 blacks that are murdered per year, 93% of those are black on black crimes. I don't see them. I know that's just a racist thing to say.
That doesn't fit the narrative, Rich.
I know.
Do not bring up Chicago.
I know,
Bring up
but
Chicago.
I just thought of that because
black crime, I'm leaving.
I just thought about that because somebody put up our FBI crime stats racist, and I'm like, well, there's a stat, and so what? So
there's an agenda, and I would just ask people to look at the bigger picture. Look who's funding these protests. Look who's putting these narratives out. Look who's putting it out in media. It is bigger than America. It is bigger than Donald Trump. It's bigger than white people. It's bigger. It is a global effort to destroy anything good. Our country, our Constitution, all of that. This is not people who care about you and want to end racism. This is about chaos and destruction.
Yep.
Look at the bigger picture. Forget America and Trump. Just please do your research. The people behind this have been doing this for years.
Yep.
They wish nothing but anarchy and destruction of anything good. This is good versus evil if you want to get biblical. But it's very hard to talk to people who are just trapped in this shell. Do you understand that divide and conquer is their goal?
right.
It is a tactic. They want me fighting with Dr. Philly Blunt. They want him coming on here and saying we're racist when we've never said anything racist on this show for 2 years now?
Oh, exactly. And they want to incite the police against them. They want them to take action so they can say, see, we were just trying to protest. And an actual protest to try to, that would be just walking. And I've seen some of that. I'm not saying it hasn't been out there. Just walking down the streets with the signs, with the slogans, saying what you're going to say. But as far as
all about protest,
exactly. I mean, this country was found. Change came about from protest from every corner of this country. But that's different than when you're destroying property and you're trying to incite violence by the police to instigate something. That's not a protest. And let's also talk about the fact of the actual racism. They want to say that all whites are racist. Racism, not liking somebody is everybody's God-given right. Racism is when you're using your position, your influence, or your power to oppress a person because of a certain color or culture that they come from. It would be like in my business if I'm trying to sell somebody a Beneteau and they're white and they're going to get it for a different one price, but they're black, so I'm going to jack the price up 20%. That would be a racist act. Okay, so let's when you say.
All right. So, Rich, so Dr. Philly Blunt, because I've seen him here before. He's saying he was joking and he's been here for a while, but if we want to use him as an example, then I apologize.
Oh,
because you know what the problem is? that on chat it doesn't come through as you're kidding.
Which is
Sounds like you were accusing us of being racist.
Yes.
Also, they said my audio is low, so I'm turning it up a little bit right now.
okay, and I'll bump you up here a little bit. And yeah, sorry, you know, I just saw. Here's the thing. He knows I don't. I got everything else going here, so I can glance at chat, and I just saw Dr. Philly Blunt the whole way down. I guess because Rocky's not here. I don't know if I saw Rocky.
Yeah, I haven't seen Rocky in a couple of days. He's usually on YouTube. Shout out to Rocky if you're out there. And
Yeah.
no, it's all good, man. And if you notice, we don't block people with different opinions. We only block people that make threats
Right.
or are clearly racist. Not like a barrier of racist. Like if you said, I'm proud to be white, some might say that's racist. I don't think it's racist.
Right.
You should be proud to be black. You should be proud to be Asian. You should be proud to be, Hispanic. And so, but it's when you start using, the N-word and all that stuff, it's clear.
Yeah.
We really don't, if you notice for the last 2 weeks, I hardly block anybody.
Right.
Except that that racist troll stuff, that was crazy. Man.
Okay, they're talking about your audio is still low, and I don't know why your audio is still low. Can you bump up your mic anymore? And is there
my mic's
and just out of curiosity, Craig, is both our audio low or is just his low? If you would put that out there.
Might just be mine.
We're not good at this. Let's put it. This is how bad it was today. I called him up. Now, granted, he had been up all night. I call him up. He wakes up. I'm like, you ready to go? Because we were supposed to go on at 9:00. He says, no. He said, I'll be ready in 10 minutes. So I'm sitting here and I shoot a text and I say, dude, I've been sitting here for 40 minutes.
Was at 9:00.
Yeah, I said, I've been sitting here for 40 minutes. You ready to go? So he comes on and as soon as he comes on, hit start streaming. Let's go. So, that's how bad we are at this. Yeah. All right.
I had to shave, bro. I look like a woolly mammoth. And a lot of people that have been following this page for like a week or two haven't seen me. I don't want to come on here looking like Father Time,
Gotcha. So he's saying, he's saying your audio is low, Jake. So go ahead and see if you can bump it up because I have you maxed out on my end over here.
That's all right. You're more important anyway when it comes to talking.
Please.
I'm just the guy that puts on the videos, man. I'm just gonna turn my mic off. I'm just kidding. But just so you guys know, Rich does everything. Like he's running this whole show right here. He's doing the OBS and all of that, and I just have to just sit here in front of my green screen. So, any problems that happen during the show, just blame him. That was what I was.
Yeah, I'd flip it around and show you, but then you see my tax returns and everything else. But
we don't want to see that.
So when we're going to be on next? What's going on next? And so you're going to take a break off tonight, right?
Well, I always say I'm going to take a break, and then next thing you know, like Portland starts setting fires or Atlanta starts heating up and audio is good to me, was low, but now it's okay. Awesome. Yeah, I can actually hear it louder in my little
I wonder if Portland's going to fire up. I wonder if they're going to try to go back to that same spot and try to collect it up again. And I wonder if the Portland police are going to go in there and stomp them down.
Yeah, it was crazy this morning. But I really want to talk about quick the video before the one where the guy was streaming. His name is
Trey something. It was
Trey on Facebook.
Yeah.
Watched it. And I think it was labeled like just now autonomous zone declared in Portland or whatever. So he gets a phone call from we didn't know if it was his girlfriend, his boyfriend, his mom. We had no idea. So he's live streaming and gets this call. And if you watched it, then you enjoyed it as much as you would laugh. But if you didn't, go back and watch that video. Started about the hour and 38-minute mark. And it goes on for almost 50 minutes, more than 45 minutes. Begging his girl to let him hang up, that he's trying to restream. And he said, I'm trying to work here. I'm taking over a city. I'm trying to work here. And she's like, say you love me and mean it. And he's like, I did, baby. Come on, I'm trying to go. Oh, they had somebody hurt that he was supposed to be helping. Even the paramedics. Oh, well, not paramedics. Even the medics.
So are you going to help us here?
Yeah, they're like, you going to help us? So why? He's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm getting a beating on the phone. You saw the replay. It was amazing. And he's like, I can't help that person who's bleeding on the floor. I'm getting screamed at by my baby mama.
That was
It was
it was like watching
riot,
it was like watching an episode of Married Man. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
And you know, it gets annoying. You're like, dude, come on already. Go to Man Camp. Like, sign up for Man Camp right now.
Yeah.
Stop streaming, because anybody who puts up with that, you know, I guess he was trying to walk her off the ledge or whatever. I don't know, man. But what was it?
Yeah, Emily was her name. Dr. Philly Blunt was asking if they made Portland an autonomous zone. No, they tried and failed, and
They tried.
the police came in there.
Down.
Yeah, police came in and stomped that out. Which wasn't that what everybody wanted from the beginning? 2 weeks. I mean, give them a day or two, and then after that, done. You know, 2 weeks ago. So
yeah. And then Ali Johnson is saying, yeah. And then some girl asked him, hey, are you so and so? And she was like, who's that? Who are you talking to? He's like, I don't know. I'm here at a hostile takeover, and I'm trying to work here. And she got all like jealous. I mean, oh my God,
was Trey the same guy that got punched?
No, Trey is not Banana Boy.
But now, and that
Banana Boy-
was crazy. The fact that you would actually apologize. I mean, it was almost like a battered woman thing where
Right.
where he's taking the blame on himself because these punks
Yeah.
punch him.
Yeah.
Because he has a camera, and apparently you're not allowed to have free press, which is funny because
No, you're not allowed American flag, nothing.
didn't you want this? Didn't you want all the media attention and to go viral and all that? And now this guy's filming and you punch him, and then he's apologizing. Well, maybe I shouldn't have been filmed. Yeah, whatever. That would have gone a totally different way. But anyway.
That was in Chaz, now known as Chop, and who knows, next week it'll be called Hop. So I don't even know his name. Ian, I think Ian. We
Okay.
call him Banana Man, Banana Boy. He's from Concrete Reporting, and somebody very clever said it's the perfect name because they always film the ground. Either they're filming the ground, or they're filming their own face because they don't want to be disrespectful and put people's faces on camera.
Right.
What? You're in the public. What are you talking about? But anyway, and you're wearing a mask, so it's the most ridiculous thing. And so he spends a week talking about how peaceful this is and how screwed up Fox News is, that they're lying. This is not what they say. And then the first time he sees a fight, he goes over to film it, and he gets bum rust. Allegedly, he got hit, but he was pretty shaken up.
Yeah, he seemed like
and
he's pretty
like you said, he's blaming himself. He's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have filmed that. And, you know, what, dude?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Was
Wasn't he the one that says I'm like a war reporter? He was the one that when they took over the highway, he's like, you know, I'm the same thing as a war reporter.
Yeah.
Dude, you got bum rushed by one guy while somebody was having a fist fight and it was already over. And you turn your camera off, and he left. And he came back the next day with a disguise. He didn't put the American flag thing back on.
Oh, please tell me it was the fake nose and the mustache. Was it the fake nose and the mustache?
Man. And he came back as a Proud Boy, actually.
That's funny.
He was hanging out with Tiny.
Soy boy deluxe. That's right. What about the normal people, businesses that work and live in? Yeah, no, I was quizzing about that. What about these people that are paying rent, paying taxes? If they have a problem, it would be funny. I would love to hear the phone call. Yeah, I'd like these people out of my front yard, please, if you would. See what the police are going to do. But yeah, crazy. You created a monster with that one. That's funny.
I don't know what Philly Blunt saying that he didn't get hit. Yeah, we should use the word allegedly, but he definitely got bum rushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he wasn't shaken up like they just said, please, sir, turn your camera off. He ended that thing, and he didn't come back on for like 5 minutes, and he was shaking.
Right.
So they didn't just say, excuse me, sir, you know.
Right.
How do I sign up to be a Proud Boy? I don't know. One thing I think is funny is they accused the Proud Boys of being white supremacists, and then you got Tiny, who's Samoan, and you had Will Johnson, who is black. And, you know, Nancy Pelosi made that mistake of saying the Proud Boys are white supremacists. You may say they're racist, but you can't say they're white supremacists.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, and be careful when the news throws that around. We talked about Robert Lavoie, which was the rancher who was fighting for the rights to herd his cattle across land that they had herded across forever, and they bordered up in that thing. There is a difference, and I wish the news would actually give credibility. There is a difference between a white supremacist and a white separatist. Okay, a separatist just wants to be left alone. He's one of those guys. He's like a prepper. He just wants to be out in the middle of nowhere. No one mess with him. He doesn't care about the color. He just doesn't want to be messed with. Totally different than a white supremacist. So yeah, if the news is going to use it, figure out which one you're actually talking about.
Another thing I wanted to bring up on Vantage Point USA, I put up a link on Facebook. There was a pro police, pro Trump, pro America rally. Just talked to a Proud Boy, Dr. Philly. That's Sugar Blue Driftwood. So anyway, on Twitter, I put up a link on Facebook. Let me stay focused here. I have ADD. And they were having a pro police, pro America rally. You know, they're in Lansing, Michigan, and the Michigan militia was there. So a group of left-wing people, maybe 2 black and like 30 white, doing the Black Panthers hold your fist up thing, which is just crazy to me. And they come right in the middle of their rally, and nothing. They didn't. The Patriots didn't surround them, beat them up, get that siren with the bullhorn and put it in their face, and not let them talk or anything. The one guy that had the permit said, "You're welcome here. Just don't disrupt my protest." They laid on their ground for 8 minutes and put their hands behind their back, which is fine with me.
Right.
We all think George Floyd being killed like that was disgusting. Not all of us. Some think it didn't even really happen. It was just a false thing or a false flag or whatever. But I can't help those people. So and they have the right to their opinion too, but you don't have your right to the facts. So and then that was it. Imagine a Black Lives Matter, and we've seen it. We've seen just a conservative person filming what happened to them. They get the crap beat out of them and hit with bike locks. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, somebody had mentioned this, and I haven't read the story. Number one, no, he did not go to his parents' basement. They kicked him out because he was supposed to take out the trash, and he didn't. So they locked him out. He wasn't able to go back. And I did. Somebody was talking about when Banana Boy went back home. And then somebody else was talking about, did you guys see the post claiming that Beethoven was really black?
Oh,
I heard about it, did not read the article yet. And so
okay. I don't care. It's still got good music. I don't care if he was Chinese and black and white all at the same time. I like his music.
Yeah, matter of fact, remember I got that copyright thing for using that music from Beethoven. But anyway, we won't talk about that. If he was alive, he would have gave me permission for that song. So.
Yes.
Anyway,
he would have been a fan of our page.
Yes. Speaking of which,
go ahead.
Would like to make a shout out. If anybody on Periscope would like to go ahead and subscribe over on the YouTube thing, hit the alerts. That's great. That way, if we cut ties with Dorsey, who's given how much money is he given? I think he's around 10 million or something like that, and Snap's another 10 million. So anyway, we cut ties with them. We'd still love to see you on YouTube, but chance.
So, Rich, that was very nice. If you notice, Rich is the good cop, and I'm probably considered the bad cop, which is probably not a good thing to say right now. But what I'll tell you is, if you're watching on Periscope, go and subscribe on YouTube, or I'm blocking you. No, we're just trying to, like Rich said, we're trying to get away from Periscope because it's owned by Jack Dorsey.
But there's too many you good people on Periscope.
Yeah, we get it's so crazy. Like, we'll get a buttload of views on YouTube and none on Periscope, and then a bunch of views on Periscope and none on YouTube. We definitely want to add Twitch because they have that channel Woke, which I think is left leaning. It shows like
you don't think
so. We definitely want to be on Twitch, and which I have an account, so I'll just make it, instead of Total News Network, I will make it Vantage Point. And then we have D Live, which we haven't fired up in forever.
I don't think D Live's around anymore. Anybody know?
No, Live's still around, man. Yeah, it's still around. And
who was the company that
can do that?
$1 billion? Who gave $1 billion? Now that I don't know. I know PayPal was 530 million. Someone says somebody gave $1 billion. PepsiCo's 400 million. Here's the thing. Yeah. Where's this money going to? I mean, if you're a corporate, you can call out as many numbers as you want. Is Black Lives Matter or some social justice thing going to audit your books? Is your accountant going to put out a statement saying how much of your money you actually? Is this a tax write-off?
Well, I know where the money's going.
Yeah,
it's going towards transportation to get the protesters there, hotel, lodging,
bricks.
food.
Bricks are expensive now. The bricks cost money.
Yeah, bricks.
Refrigeration trucks for the ice water, that cost a lot of money. Okay, here it is. Here it is.
Signs.
He was right. Bank of America announced a $1 billion 4-year commitment to strengthen economic opportunities for communities of color. So
Which is great. I see no problem with that. I mean, so what? That's great. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
I just would like to see somebody actually hold them to those numbers and find out where they actually spend it and what it actually goes to. So,
right.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
Anyway, no, it's laundering. Ice money is little. Yeah, and that's about it. That's all I really had. Go ahead, Rich.
I don't know. What's the 2.5 trillion? Are we talking about the PPP money? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. Those
How
are
about that
tax dollars that go
2.5
toward
trillion?
entitlements not count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into that. I'm furious with the situation here in Florida and Ron DeSantis and the unemployment, Florida unemployment
Yeah.
criminal organization. I mean, they have messed up. I'm trying not to curse. I haven't cursed one time.
Good job.
They messed up a lot of people in Florida.
Yeah.
And
They did.
forcing people to go to a broken website to try to get the federal money when you can't even get the state money. It's a disgrace. And then Hannity, I can't stand Fox News, by the way. So don't come on here, anybody, and accuse us like, oh, you guys just sound like Fox News. No, I actually can't stand Fox News. As soon as they brought on,
As soon as Disney bought them, yeah.
Yeah. And Donna Brazil was the first person they bring on. Get out of here.
Right.
So I can't even take Fox News anymore. I forgot. I lost my train of thought as soon as I thought of Donna Brazil.
That's okay. I was just thinking about the tax dollars that go into entitlements, not count. Yeah, and once again, the welfare state, and is it really helping people of color, or is it actually keeping them down? You put them in this small urban jungle, and you are oppressing. You give them just enough money, not that they'll ever be able to get out from underneath anything, but just enough to get them to the polling booths for the next 4 years. And then the next 4 years, and make the empty promises and not actually do anything about them, do anything for them. So, yeah, please.
Okay, I remember my thought before I forget. So I was bringing up Fox News because Hannity always has DeSantis on there, and he all he talks about is, oh, I can't wait to go to a sports game. I can't wait to go to a football game. What are you doing? And DeSantis like, oh, come on. He never calls him out on the Florida unemployment thing ever. He has every opportunity. I've sent so many tweets to Hannity.
Right.
And yes, I am from Long Island. Then I moved to North Carolina. I am now in South Florida. So that's definitely where my accent comes from. I'm not from Boston. Yes, my name is Jake. I am not from State Farm. I'm definitely not wearing khakis. They don't go with blue.
And yeah, it's talking about liking Tucker Carlson. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I like Tucker.
I like him too. I have no problem. And as a matter of fact, anybody who actually brings a well thought out counterpoint to anything I don't like, I love it. So yeah, engaging.
I like the fact that Tucker calls out President Trump when he thinks he's wrong. There's a lot of these pages that never even like President Trump, but then now all of a sudden they're like Trump sycophants, and some people go overboard. I'm not going to say names. But there's a guy that's like, God, MAGA everything and MAGA this. Hey, don't like this, and let me tell you that. He tries to be like Alex Jones, and and sells like horrible products. And come on, man, it's a little overboard, and they're like going crazy. So I like that people talk about Trump when he's wrong. And he's been wrong. He's made a lot of wrong, but he's been amazing with the Supreme Court justices, which was one of the big reasons I voted for. If we're ever going to have a country, I don't want a conservative or a liberal. I want a constitutional Supreme Court. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, well so this is how I feel on the Supreme Court. I don't care where he went, where the nominee went to school. I don't care what his education level is. I
don't care if he likes beer. That was Brett Kavanaugh.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I'd sit down and have a beer with him and talk about the Federalist Papers, and that's what I want my Supreme Court justice to know. I want him to be able to quote everything that's in the Federalist Papers, because if your job as a Supreme Court justice is to do nothing than interpret the Constitution, you better have the best working knowledge of what Madison wrote, whatever all of them wrote. Because there was a reason they wrote each and every one of the word of the Constitution. There was a reason for it, and they wrote it down. So it's not something you have to wonder. you know why they
Right.
wrote it because they've described it. But yeah,
Right.
so
You know what's I seen in chat, somebody was saying that Trump lost on the DACA, you know, the immigration. No, you know who lost? America lost, and we've been losing on the immigration thing.
yep,
You know, these are politicians failing administration after administration. The fact that they can't get that straight. I mean, I don't really know what to straighten out. We have laws, follow them. You know, I had Mr. C. For those
Right.
of you guys watched late into the night, I was interviewing Mr. C, a legal immigrant who came here. It took them a very long time. Their family, they did the right thing. They came here. He's a success, and you know, there's laws. You know, I don't want to hear, oh, well, it's too hard, and then, well, then you vote on it, and you vote in politicians for what you want.
that's
I
right.
don't think Trump lost on that. I think America lost that we can't work on legislation together. That's who I think lost.
Yeah, and Kelly Castro says, too bad they didn't interpret it this week. Yeah, you know, I haven't really read through what that whole decision was, talking about the whole LBGTQRST thing of as far as workplace protection stuff. So I haven't read through it, so I can't. Yeah, but I just wonder what that was about. We'll have to read through that and maybe do
Yeah.
part of a show on that. But anyway,
Yep, and that's it. We'll keep an eye on Atlanta. You know, I have my personal feelings on Atlanta, and we've talked about that. And you know, we'll see where the innocent until proven guilty. So you know, that's how this goes.
yep,
That's the country we have for now.
for now.
I think that this whole narrative that there's this huge racist problem out there, you know what I mean? I think they use it to for an agenda, and I think people are really loving. They don't care what color you are.
Right.
Yes, there are racists, absolutely, but is it? It's a very small fraction of people that have that kind of hate. Which that's what I'm talking about here. That have that hate in their heart, and usually that hate is just targeted onto somebody, the different color. Right now, most people hate, they have this hate in their heart, and they found President Trump as the platform to attack.
Right.
If you ever sat down and watched what he did, what he does, they probably be like, he ain't too bad. But they want to hate something.
right.
So why not Trump? You
And
know what I mean?
and that's like what Craig said. He said it's nature versus nurture, and you reap what you sow. If you reap love, you get love. You reap bitterness, you're gonna that's what you're gonna reap is bitterness. So yeah.
That's right.
So
Well, not always, of course, but there's that minority. You can be a loving person and all that, and have some deranged person just run you over with his car. You know what I mean? So
I meant as a parent raising your children, you raise them in a loving,
I got you. I don't have children, so I wouldn't know that angle.
No, but I have been ran over by a car, so
Yes, and it was me, and I apologize. You bring that up every show.
that wasn't you. I was holding on to a car with a skateboard. Bad idea.
Oh.
So anyway,
Yeah.
guys, you could have been anywhere. You chose to spend it with us. We really appreciate it. Appreciate you watching the live videos. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Give us some love, maybe a thumbs up, and we'll get back with you again, hopefully sooner than it was this time. But obviously, a lot of things have been going on. So, Jake, you got anything else going on?
No, that's it, man. Keep love, peace in your heart. Yep, and I might be back tonight. You never know. It depends on the chaos. If there's nothing going on too crazy, I'll probably take the night off. But I appreciate being here always with my boy Rich here, and then the people at least get to hear us, because a lot gets lost in in chat. Like Dr. Philly Blunt, we thought he was calling us racist, and any other show probably would have blocked him, but we do not. And so like we said, we say this every time. We'd like to have people come and go on Zoom and be on camera with us if we feel comfortable that you're not just going to start stripping on camera and get our page shut down. Especially if you're built better than I am, which probably most men are. Except when I was young, I was all right. But that's about it, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yes.
You're gonna hit them with the outro or what?
Yeah, we're going to give it a shot here. We'll hit him with the mouse, then hit him with the outro. And if you're out there protesting, you're doing it in a peaceful way. Be safe out there. And for everybody else, keep their eyes alert. Watch out. And We will see you guys later. We'll see you on the next time around. Take care.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good. I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good. Be good to us.